Tuze wano okusaasira family ey'omugenzi Honorable Cecilia Ogwal yatugenzeeko amakya ga leero twafunye amawulire ago n'ennaku empitirivu. Honorable Cecilia Ogwal ono abadde mukyala mekete, amaze mu politics ebbanga ddene era bingi byakoze ng'ateeka gavumenti ku nninga. Tuze tubiraba nga tukula tumwenyumirizaamu, kati ne tutuula naye era ffe abamu tuze tumuyigirako bingi nnyo. Twayingira paalamenti n'afuuka maama eri ffe eri gye tuli, era mbadde neesunga nnyo okweyongera okumuyigirako ebintu bingi mu buvunaanyizibwa buno obujja bwe nafunye ng'akulembera oludda olwawula gavumenti naye tekisobose. Naye nga bwe tukungubaga okusingira ddala twebaza Katonda ku lw'obulamu bwa Honorable Cecilia Ogwal kubanga bingi bye tumuyigiddeko era byensuubira nti tujja sigala nga tubitwala mu maaso. So tukungubaga naye ate tujaguza kubanga Katonda yakkiriza tubeere naye ebbanga litubadde naye n'okumuyigirako ebingi bye tumuyizeeko.
Honorable Parliament nga tekuli
tajja kumanya Oluganda genda mu maaso. Parliament tejja kuba kyekimu, tujja musubwa nnyo. Abadde alina akafo ke katera otuulamu emabega wa sipiika ku mukono gwe ogwa kkono, era nga buli omu amanyi akafo ka Honorable Cecilia Ogwal nti ne bwe tujja nga wonna wonna wajjudde ng'akafo ako tikatuulibwamu kubanga kabadde kafo ke era nga tinaayimuka n'ayogera ku nsonga ez'enjawulo ate nga bwayimuka okwogera buli omu asiriikirira okumuwuliriza oba wa kibiina ki oba wa kibiina ki. So abadde wanjawulo.
Equal opportunity yayisiza
ensonga eyo Equal Opportunities Report gyafulumizza era ng'egamba nti yes awabeerewo ekkomo ku bisanja by'ababaka abakyala ebisanja 2. Of course netteeka ligamba nti bino ebifo ebya affirmative action eby'abakyala ebyabalina obulemu ku mibiri abavubuka workers n'abalala ab'amagye naki walina okubeerawo evaluation. So yes kikulu nnyo okubeerako ne discussion ku nsonga ezo. Tugamba nti naye ensonga eno tugikwasaganye tutya, abakyala bano wali abalala tubaccommodatinga tutya, naye nze ate ndabamu engeri y'obunaafuusi oba kale kaŋŋambe nti tebakiwa nnyo ssira simanyi lwaki ku nsonga za presidential term limits. Bannayuganda bazze bagamba awo wali ekinyusa okusingira ddala kuba pulezidenti abeera n'obuyinza obuyitirivu ennyo n'okusinga omubaka. Yalina bajeti, yalina ebyokulwanyisa byonna bingi. So kakati omuntu oyo nga yeetaaga ekkomo n'okusinga ababaka. So yes wabeerewo conversation ku nsonga ey'ababaka abakyala n'abalala, naye ate nalegadde okuwulira Equal Opportunities Commission ku bisanja ebya pulezidenti. Awo ndaba nga ensonga eyo baagibuusa amaaso ate nga obaoli awo wali ekinyusi. For all of us, and I was looking forward now as leader of the opposition to holding on to her and learning a lot more and getting a lot more guidance from her. Unfortunately it has not happened, but even as we mourn the Honorable Cecilia Ogwal, we celebrate her life. She lived a full life. She deposited herself in many of us, so we mourn but we celebrate and thank God that he allowed us to live the life we lived with her, to learn from her, and I believe there's a lot we shall carry on that she taught us.
A parliament without Cecilia Ogwal, what do we miss?
It will be different. Parliament will be different. She had her special seat, somewhere slightly behind the speaker to the left, and it was reserved for her. Even when everywhere was full, members knew that seat there is for Honorable Cecilia Ogwal. No one would sit there. And so she would shoot up and share thoughts and give guidance to the House, even guide the Speaker and so on. So we'll miss her dearly.
When you look at the political aspiration, standing on a ground, just being neutral, what do we do?
She commanded respect across. That's not a very easy thing to do. She commanded respect across. When she stood up to speak, everybody wanted to hear what is Imad Cecilia going to say, whether it's the opposition or the NRM. And that's an incredible thing, for you to command such respect. And we learned that from her as well. Hopefully we'll be able to do the same, that you can command respect across. Yeah.
as the people of northern Uganda condone specifically and taking for the northern population. What is your message?
The people of Lango have produced many great leaders over the years. Lango and northern Uganda in general. Imat Cecilia Ogwal is one of those. You know, they are leaders who you look at and you say this here was an amazing leader. So Imat Cecilia is one of those. So even as we condole with the family, we condole with Lango. As a region, we condole with northern Uganda and Uganda at large, generally. This, your daughter, the daughter of Lango, did us good as a country. So even as you mourn, we know you are in deep sorrow, but it's important that you celebrate this lady, because you exported her to Uganda and beyond. So let's celebrate Imat Cecilia. The mourning will be there, the pain and so on, but celebrating especially because of her great achievements and the deposits that she inoculated in many of us, which I pray and hope will carry forth.
Honorable, if we move a bit out of Cecilia Ogwal's situation, your aspiration as the leader of opposition for this tenure of office, in relation to human rights issues, policies that are going to come in considerations to the many issues, especially on rights, what do we look at?
Well, we've had these conversations, we'll continue to have them. We have said severally that my role, the role of the leader of the opposition, is to keep the government in check. That's what the law says. Keeping the government in check is a broad thing. You know, there's the monetary aspect where we get to follow the money and be sure that this money is properly utilized as opposed to being stolen, as we see being the case most of the time. There being value for money. But then there's the other issues that are not necessarily monetary. Government is expected to take care of its people. But now if government is the same that is suppressing and oppressing the people, that's a problem. So we have to keep them in check in that regard, to see to it that human rights violations, brutality are checked and nipped in the bud. So we will not keep quiet about these issues. You'll hear us a lot more because they're important issues, you know. Even as we discuss all these different things, you know, service delivery and so on, you can't deliver services to people who are in their graves or people who are in jail or who are missing simply because of their political persuasion. So that's something that we'll not keep quiet about, because also when we keep quiet, then it becomes a modus operandi. That means, you know, those who are doing it get to know that, this is a tactic we can apply every so often. So we have got to make them realize it is a risky thing to do and they've got to stop it.
Maybe finally, this goes majorly to you. It's just a personal question. Why I'm asking this, it's because you see Cecilia was standing in at all political space and giving a lot of space and attribution to the female leaders. And when you come to your side, you see a lot of the young people like me and the others who are the youth. Where is the room for the women, the room for the people with disability in terms of inclusion? Yes.
Okay, let me ask you a question this way. I'm sure that's the direction we are headed to, because I saw a report by the Equal Opportunities Commission saying that women MPs should run for just 2 terms, then hand over the baton to somebody else. So the law says there's meant to be reviewing of these positions that were created in regard to affirmative action. The army, youth MPs, women, and all the others, representatives of persons with disabilities, and so on. But you see, actually I want to say to the Equal Opportunities Commission, the people of Uganda after 2005, when term limits were removed for presidency, were apoplectic, were mad. I would want to hear them out on that particular issue, even as we have these conversations. And they're important conversations for us to have as a country, yeah? But as you're going for the women MPs, there's somebody who wields a lot of power and influence. How come we don't hear the Equal Opportunities Commission on that regard for presidential term limits? Because it's important. The president runs a budget, you know, wields a lot of authority and power, the country's arsenal, military, and so on. Such a person has got to have their powers checked and limited. Yeah, so yes, I do agree. Let's have a conversation about the affirmative action positions. But even more importantly, there's the other critical one, the person who wields a lot of influence, and that's why it is the case in many countries that one has got to have term limits. I want to hear the Equal Opportunities Commission on that subject matter.